Hey guys, it's Just a Ginger, and today I have an extremely difficult video planned. Today I decided to try Drayano hack with hardcore Nuzlocke rules. If you're unaware who Drayano is, he modifies the Pokemon games to give more varied encounters while also increasing the difficulty tremendously. I decided to take a kick at a 3DS game for today's video, so I'm going to see if I can beat Pokemon Rising Ruby with hardcore Nuzlocke rules. The rules go as follows. I must nickname my Pokemon, I must play in set mode, if a Pokemon faints it is considered dead and can no longer be used for the remainder of the challenge, and no items in battle, but held items are allowed. So with that being said, let's get started on my new adventure in the home region. Just like the originals, we are stuck in a moving van. I guess our parents still have no room for us in the front. Professor Birch runs us through the usual Pokemon tutorial as we tell him our name. Once we fix our back from being in the back of that dreaded van, we talk to our mom who tells us we need to unpack. Two Machokes just barged right through after helping my mom, but I guess they didn't want to help me. After we unpack by setting the clock up, we see our dad on TV and go to the neighbor's house to introduce ourselves. May is getting ready for her Pokemon journey, so why shouldn't I just pick my starter to begin mine? I decided our best chance for this challenge was to pick the water Pokemon Mudkip, who would eventually gain the ground typing, which would be very effective against many of our future gyms. We take down the Poochyena easily and get ready to nickname our Mudkip. I decided to nickname my Pokemon after the 12 months of the year, so Mudkip would become January, which felt fit. After that, we go off and find May, whose Trico was no match for January. We then went back to the lab to get Pokeballs and a Pokédex. This allows us to get our first encounter of the run, a Starly named February. Next ride over, we catch a Nidoran female named March, and we caught a Caterpie named April. April would then shortly evolve into a Metapod and a Butterfree a while later as I trained up the team. We arrived in Petalburg City next, and I had to deal with Wally shenanigans. Our fifth team member would be a Tailo named May. Lastly, in Petalburg Woods, we got a Pichu named July. Yeah, I might have forgot the order of the months, but whatever. Directly after getting July, we had a run-in with Team Magma Grunt, whose Poochyena stood no chance, and the Numel was taken down by February. We got the EXP share as a prize, which would come in clutch when we were training up the team for the raised level caps. Speaking of levels, February leveled high enough to become a Staravia. We caught another bird Pokemon, a Natu, I accidentally also named July. Then March evolved into a Nidorina, July evolved into a Pikachu, we caught a Drillbur in a cave named August, and just before the first gym, January evolved into Marshtomp. Now going into the first gym, I decided there were Pokemon I needed to save for later in the run, so I rearranged my team. I brought in Natu and Drillbur and took off Pikachu and Butterfree. Now let's dissect this battle. I start with Marshtomp while Roxanne brings out Archon. I start to spam Water Pulse, but Archon's evasiveness increases, so I missed the first one. She activates my berry, but luckily I was able to land 2 consecutive to take it out. Out next was Lily, who's part grass, a type 4 times effective against Marshtomp. I decided my best bet is to switch to Drillbur, who takes a Dirty Bullet Seed. After, it takes a Lucky Rock Tomb and then is able to get some digs in to take it out. Ammonite is next, so I switch out to Nidorina and go for the super effective Double Kick to take it out. Nose Pass is sent out and I hit some Tail Whips and then some Double Kicks, but I get too low, so I send out Marshtomp to finish it. Tyrant is out, which goes down quick, and last is Anorath. I underestimated it for sure. I forgot I put Oran Berries on my Pokemon and it had Bug Bite, so not only did it take out 3 of my Pokemon, but it healed in the process. Luckily, Marshtomp was able to take it out for us to take our first gym badge. Directly after, we need to go save Pico from the Team Magma Grunt, who was no issue. Mr. Bryan then offers us his boat to use, but first we talk to Mr. Stone and get the letter, and then May to head off to Dewford Town. After, we catch our next encounter, a Cubone named September. We also got a fishing rod, so we catch a Staryu named October. Then we prepare to challenge Brawly. The plan here is to put the Machop to sleep and then switch up to Pikachu to start setting up nasty plots. I luckily am able to set up 3. This allows Disarming Voice to one-shot Machop, Meditite, Mimefu, Scraggy, and then Pancham. Hariyama barely survives with his berry, but we take it out on the following turn. Then we receive the badge from Brawly and go back in the cave to talk to Steven. Then we boat off to the next city and catch an Oddish on the route outside the city. After, we get a Nidoqueen who absolutely tanks every attack, but is heavily damaged, so we switch out. Next battle, we send Pikachu and then Staravia out to finish the job. Then we have a highly anticipated May fight, who Pikachu survives like a god on 1 HP against the Swellow. Wilmer is up next. I switch to Butterfree to put it to sleep and slowly take it out. Grovo's out now, and Staravia takes it out, and lastly Ponyta goes down to Marshtomp's elite moveset. Once we make it to Mauville, we have to deal with Wally, who starts off with a Fletchinder, so we put it to sleep and set up some nasty prods and proceed to take out all of his team except Curlia, who takes out our Butterfree. Luckily, Nidoqueen finishes the job. Rest in peace, Butterfree. Anyways, we catch a Roselia to replace April, and then Cubone evolves into Marowak, just in time for us to challenge the third gym leader, Watson. Our strategy here just consists of using our ground types to the best of our ability. Marowak takes out Watson's first 2 Pokemon, but Rotom becomes a problem as ground type attacks don't work. We risk Nidoqueen for a super weak poison jab. Luckily, Marshtomp can use some Aqua Tails to whittle it down. Unfortunately, Marshtomp gets super low, so our best bet here is to kill off Staravia in order for us to have a safe switch to Marowak, who takes his Magneton and Manectric. Rotom returns, and I go for a disarming voice, but I hurt myself and then land the second one. Then something happens I wouldn't have predicted. The Rotom runs out of Ominous Winds, so it just goes for Confuse Ray. So I go for Nasty Plot, land it, then hurt myself, but land the second one. But every time Rotom uses Thunder Wave on me, it only raises my special attack. Lastly, it's me versus Electrode, who I switch into Marowak for, who takes it down with a Bone Meringue. Now that we have the ability to use Rock Smash, I break a rock to find our next encounter, a Binacle. Also, I find a super irrelevant Ponyta. Something that's not irrelevant is a Litwick I found. Lastly, for new encounters, I got an Esper named Psycat. Pikachu evolved into Raichu then, and Marshtomp evolved into Swampert. I also found a Zangoose but underestimated Rosalia's power, so we had to let the Zangoose go. Just before some big fights, Binacle evolved into Barbicle, and Rosalia evolved into Roserade. In Meteor Falls, I found an amazing encounter, a Bagon. After I catch it, I have a fight with the team admin, and to begin, I set up Toxic Spite and take a very heavy Ice Fang. Then I switch to Marowak, who leers my opponents, and I go for a Rock Smash. I try Bone Meringue, but I forget Weezing has Levitate, so after I switch to Swampert to Muddy Water my opponents. Swampert takes huge damage to take out the Darmanitan, but Nidoqueen hangs on by a Silver to take out the Onix. That was a close fight, but we came out with 0 deaths. The Professor guy takes us to his house and we teleport to Mauville, after we heal up to fight another admin. July takes some hard hits as it wipes out most of the admin's team. Twin takes out the Snorlax to finish the fight. Then we face off against Maxie, who we set up Poison Spikes. We continue to switch around Pokemon till we finally start taking Pokemon out, but in the act, we lost Raichu and Roserade to the camera. Marowak finishes out the Houndoom, but his Pupitar does heavy damage to our Pokemon, but luckily we only make it out with 2 deaths. After, we get a Meowstic and a Shelgon. We also get a Lampet and a Starmie. Again, Lampet evolves again to its final form, a Chandelier, to help us prepare for our 4th gym. Our strategy here is to utilize our ground types again, but in the process we lost Marowak, and Swampert tries its best at damage and gets a crit to take out the Torkoal. It one-shots the Camerupt as well, and all that's left is Delphox. Twins does good damage, but I decided to sack it in order for us to have the best chance to get the gym badge. Before the 5th gym badge, we get another encounter, a Sandile named Crocs, and an Anorith from the fossils. Crocs evolves, the Oddish I got earlier evolves, Crocs evolves again to its final form, and we prepare our fight against our father for the 5th badge. I add Psycat and Shelgon and Crocs for this battle to take off Nidoqueen. Even though it's still on the screen, just ignore it. It's just a little mistake. Oopsies. We start off with Psycat to set up a Reflect and hit a Psychic, then die shortly after. Chandelier is out now, who burns the Slacking, and then I contemplate to switch out to Swampert, who almost takes it out, but barely holds on, so I hit an Earthquake. Up next is Sawsbuck, so I send out Chandelier to one-shot it. Staraptor is out next, so I send out Starmie, who surprisingly takes it out. Hoofland is out next and kills itself, which works for us. Exploud's out, which Crocs fights valiantly but falls. The Swampert finishes the job, earning us the 5th gym badge. So we do that and prepare to catch our next 2 team members. An Amalga, who will be a good addition with its typing, and a Sliggoo, who was a surprise because I really doubted we would get another dragon type. So we add Goober to the team and mentally prepare for our next fight. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys soon with part 2 very shortly. Have a good day!